Hi, Luminaires. Hello, hello. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for being here, dropping by, lending me your time, your eyes, your ears. Today, I wanted to come and talk to you about self-healing at home. What does that look like? And I want to throw out 2 techniques and a few things for you to really think about so that you can add it to your to-do list. I don't know if you'd call it that, but add it to your toolbox. How's that? Let's have toolboxes of healing. Hi, Loomies. Hi, Nanette. Hi, Judy. Hi, Colleen. So happy to see you guys here. I invite you, if you're here with me for the live stream, please put your fingers to the keyboard, ask some questions. If you want to share some techniques that you use for your self-healing, please do so. I always enjoy hearing from you, and we learn from each other. Hi, Krista. Hi, Marnie. Okay, let's talk about self-healing. Well, I guess we have to break it down to what is healing. I know some of you Loomies are like, oh, we've talked about this. Like, we know what this is. But do you have a strong language around it? Can you talk to a stranger on the street about it? Is it so embedded into you, you know how to convey it? Because that can help you have a better connection to your healing modality or ability. We'll say it that way. The more meaning you have connected to your approach to healing, the more results you get. Oh, I love all your hellos and good mornings. Yay. Okay. So how would you describe healing? Put your fingers to the keyboard, let me know. Healing for me is looking at something that's inside of my physical body, my mental body, emotional body, or my spirit body that I wish to shift or change. Okay, so I'm obviously identifying something that I'm not really resonating with, and I'm wanting to place it somewhere else or get it to a different frequency. I'm giggling because the chimes have been quiet all morning, and since I've gone live, they're just going berserk. And we're in the room where they are, so they're just going to get loud. It's a spirit guide of mine and many of yours who likes to hit the chimes. So whenever I hear it go off, I consider it a spirit highlighter, that they're highlighting the words being shared. And I just kind of think a little bit more about it. Like, what's the purpose? Is there a deeper meaning? It just brings a lot of light to me. Okay. So when I look at healing, I observe it that way, finding something that I want to shift. I do my best these days. Now, I'm going to be the first to admit that maybe I'm not so spectacular at it, but I do my best to say, or to remove the language, good and bad. Like, this is happening to me, this is bad. Or this is painful, this is bad. I have vicious cycles of thoughts, this is bad. This is holding me back. So I do my best to avoid the dualistic language, the judgment language, and just come into, is this serving my overall purpose? Or is this getting me to the goal of, I'm going to use the word happiness here. This, another guide of mine, Grace, likes to talk a lot about finding your path to happiness. So when I look at what's going on with my body, is it helping me serve or helping me find my natural happiness? And if not, I try to shift it towards a path, a location, a place, a vibration, a frequency. Insert what word you need in there to reach that. Self-healing can be done through many different modalities, such as diet, checking your home for mold and mildew. And like, a lot of these are just like responsibility actions. You're responsible for this container. Let's own up to that. And let's look at how we can serve, feed, give it better energy, better quality of food, material, environment, air quality, all of that. We can also look at the mental body and talk in terms of mindfulness, which is one of the things I want to talk about. I'm surprised the bells didn't go off there. She's got me by my I was going to say by my toes, but I don't even know what that meant. So I wanted to talk about the power of your mind. And if you're really into mindfulness, or you're interested in how the mind does affect the body, please get out there and research. Stanford Mind and Body Labs have put out many articles. They show dozens of experiments that they've ran. There is a woman, Aaliyah Crum. I think I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but I really enjoy her viewpoint. She works at the Stanford Mind and Body Lab, and she talks about how the mind is not peripheral anymore. Like that your mindset is not just something that's out to the side that we go, oh, that's where it is, but we're going to achieve this. It is now necessary. It's a very central need. Like we got to take it from what's happening out here and get behind our eyeballs. And she's saying flat out, it is central to your health and to your behavior, your mindfulness, your mindset, how you apply meaning to things, what you prioritize, what you believe in, definitely what you believe in. And I think it's time we leverage that power of the mindset and apply it directly to our self-healing. Shout out to Tiffany. Thank you so much for the good vibes and that financial energy. I love it so much. Tiffany is a Reiki healer out in the San Fran area. So if you're looking for someone out there, really wonderful resource. How did that feel to hear out loud, Tiffany? Yay. Hi, Tina. Nice to see you here. So when we begin to leverage our mindset, we really have to look at where are we coming from the term of self-healing. What do we really believe in? And let's say you're a healer. Let's say you are someone who approaches or maybe has a business or does this for friends and family or animal companions or plants. How are you approaching them and their belief systems around the healing sessions that you are about to provide? I'll say a few things that are really important with the mindset. And in a moment, I'll talk about like 2 at-home techniques that you can do. It's the way I like to see some of my healing occur. And I was just reading Judy's comment. Wait, Maitland told me I need to work on healing myself. Very appropriate. I'm fairly good on the healthy spiritual side, but now I know I need change, but am not taking the step. But you're not taking the steps or taking the leap. Take the leap. Let's take some leaps. So with mindset, slowing down and paying attention to what you work smoothly with. So I did this 21 days of Reiki healing, and there were a few lessons in there that it turned my brain inside and out. I was so grateful for it. It challenged me in a way I hadn't been challenged before. I am going to do the 21 days again. I would like to incorporate it a lot more into my career because it was actually something I got a lot out of. But the thing that I took away the most, besides the incredible healing that we did every day, was obviously, I've heard this a lot of times, you focus on what you want to create. Like when you're driving the car and a tree is coming, you don't focus on the tree, you focus on where you want to drive. If you focus on the tree, you're going to turn into the tree and hit the tree. Like I know these things. I know this. I'm sure you've heard this too. And you're like, yeah, check mark, got it. But when it came time for me to apply, especially in my definition and connection to the term of healing, it was, let me look for something that doesn't work and let me change it. Let me identify what doesn't work. And so I was in the practice of judgment and in the practice of treasure hunting for what was going wrong, rather than looking at my body and saying, hey, overall, this is where I want to be, and driving it directly to the end results that I want. I was slowing down too long and giving too much time and effort and energy and empowering that frequency that wasn't doing its best for me. So it just cracked me wide open, like, oh my God, this whole time, like I teach Reiki. I so enjoy teaching my Reiki classes. I like to teach it based on, the way that we see the world, our highly sensitive qualities. So I teach it in terms of being an intuitive and talking about your chakra system and your auric field and how that all comes together in terms of classical Dr. Yusui baseline Reiki. And so when I do that, I started thinking, my God, I've spent so much of my time focusing on identifying and looking at what's not vibrating in the way that this person would want, or find the blockage, find the congestion. And at the same time, I would teach a lot about how Reiki is intelligent. Reiki is a Sanskrit word. It means, is it Sanskrit? No. Reiki is Japanese. It means universal life force. I was thinking chakra is a Sanskrit word, and it means wheel of light. So we have Reiki, universal life force. And this universal life force is really freaking intelligent. But it's like the hang up as a human, and I would love to hear if you get hung up like this, like, please talk to me. The hang up is like when we get into the act of healing, whether it's healing self or helping others heal, it's like we think we need to know everything. I used to approach it like, well, I need to know how this works, and I need to understand what the energy is going to do so that I know the end means, and then I could focus on that result. And I will say, yes, the answer is yes. When you put your energy into your healing a lot more, you get results. Like, you're investing your thoughts and your curiosities, and yes, you get a better result. But the thing that is like the hitch in a way is like, how do you stay neutral without trying to make something happen when you don't need to be making anything happen, because universal life force is intelligent? That thing is when you start to overly focus on the results that you believe are best, which might not be best. There might be a better out there. You just don't know it because you haven't come across it yet. And that focus of your healing session is aiming towards that goal and not letting, it's like blocking out, because your energy is so strong and you're just hyper diligent and focused on it. It's kind of blocking out everything that needs to come in. It's like, where do you sit back and say, here's my overarching, this is where I want to be. This is my goal. But it's not a set in stone and concrete goal. It's one of those flexible goals that when you get into it, you're like, oh, this is so much better, and this is so much more grand. I mean, you are made of energy, and energy is in constant motion. You cannot create nor destroy energy. You can move it. You can leave it alone. You can manipulate and play with it, but you're not creating nor destroying. And I think, and often when we get talking about healing terms, some of us might have a belief system that we're getting in there and we're creating something new and we're destroying something that's bad. Like, that tumor is bad. We're going to go in there and we're going to eliminate it, get rid of the tumor so the body is now good. And it's a very simple kind of a language, but I think it's shooting us in the foot. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Let's see. Can you please let me know where you bought your my microphone? I bought it on Amazon. I love Amazon. It's from Hollyland, and this is the whole kit. This is not an advertisement. This is just a product that I use. So there you go. I have a sticker on it because when I channel, I wear white clothes, so I needed a white microphone. Yes, Mary is saying, I agree, the energy exchange is also the new currency. Yes, that is it. Yeah, it's not a button, it's the new microphone now. The other one I think was getting in the way and it was acting up. Some of you said there was feedback, so we changed things. Okay, Sam I Am says, I've experienced this once when laying my hands over a friend's body completely intuitively. He was so confused as to the results, but when I put more thought and labels on this action is difficult. But when I put more thought and labels on this action is difficult. Yes, it gets difficult. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so how do we let intelligent energy, intelligent universal life force come through and help us heal? How do we change our mindset? Let's use it to leverage more power, leverage more outcome by applying a new kind of mindset, which is eliminating old indoctrinated patterns of when something is wrong, it's wrong and we need to get rid of it, and we don't cherish it, we don't like it, it's not good, and let's look for what is good. And we're coming at it from judgment basement, like basements, judgment baselines. I would like for us to try to enter into it in a way of like compassionate communication, observing that everything has purpose. Everything has purpose. Your pain has purpose. Your body is speaking to you. The cancer, the scars that you have, the high blood pressure, the irritable bowel syndrome, the loss of your hair, whatever it is, whatever's happening physically, the running of your mind, the ADHD, all of this is the body speaking. It is giving you information. How do we develop that conversation with our own healing where we get excited about even those things that are presenting how we wouldn't want them to? How do we remove our judgments? So definitely dive into compassionate communication. I also have that over on my website and teach it. I don't have a class up right now, but I love how it totally supports all of this healing work and communication to spirit. Superb. So how do we move our judgments? We come at it from compassion. So here are two little hands-on healings that I do with myself. Number one, when I teach Reiki, and if you're interested in learning energy healing techniques and Reiki feels like it's for you, I consider it like the Band-Aid in your first aid kit. I'm teaching it. Level 1 is October 5th of this year, 2024. Level 2 is November 2nd. I like to do them 21 days apart so you have time to practice your craft before we get into the next level. And if there's enough interest, I'll do a Mastership class at the end of the year in December, which is 2 days. It's, I think, December 7th and 8th. So we'll put that together. But with Reiki, I teach that it's hands-on, energy on. You got your hands on it, energy's running. Have you ever jump-started a car? You're like, random question. Have you ever jump-started a car? 2 plugs, positive, negative, or grounding. You clip them on, jump-starts the battery. We are a battery. We're a battery. On our right side of our body, we run positive current energy. That does not mean it's good or bad. That's just the quality of the energy. It's called positive. On the left side of the body, we run negative current. Doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that it's negative. It pulses. This one is more constant on the right side. This one fluctuates. I'm reading some of your comments and I'm blushing. Thank you, Nancy Garfinkel. Happy Friday, and Jamie is an amazing teacher. Thank you. Judy is saying compassionate communication to myself I need more of. Me too. Me too. Oh, thank you, Maylin. Okay, so now let's do hands-on Reiki on. I like to jumpstart positive current energy with a negative current heart chakra. Our heart chakra is negative current based. Again, negative current has this pulse. It fluctuates, it changes, it's more fluid. It's how the healer is. Healer creates change. So positive current energy over the heart. Negative current energy on left hand over positive current solar plexus. Solar plexus is the yellow chakra, the wheel of light that sits under the curve of your ribs. It has a positive current energy. It is more hardwired to always shine and be on. Bam! So it is kind of considered the heart is where emotions rest and express from. Solar plexus is where the mind kind of rests and comes from. It's your character, your personality, your knowledge. So we kind of have a mind-heart connection here, and we're anchoring this through the body. So we have mind, body, emotion connection. And we're doing it by alternating, connecting different frequencies into the body. Hands on, energy on. Okay, the way I like to do this is, actually I do it when I go to sleep. Sometimes I wake up and my hands are still in location, which I'm like, dang, did I need it that much? But maybe. But when you go to sleep, lie on your back just for a little bit. You'll know when it's ready to stop, when you just get really lifted and you feel like you're about to fall into a deep sleep. That's when you kind of curl up and you do the rollover before you go. So positive current, negative heart, negative hand, negative current, left side. This is the left, right, left. Right on heart, left on solar plexus. I'm going to hit the microphone. And so you lay with your hands like this. That's all you have to do with your body. Now, the jumper cables that I mentioned earlier are now working. But they're working in a way that it's going to balance the quality of energy you have in those two chakras, which will balance heart to mind to body, just by you laying your hands on it. But I want you to add an additional step. This is where we're leveraging the power of your mindset. Now you got your mind open. Your body's soft. It's probably ready to go to sleep. Your emotions are probably just coming down from the day, whatever was going on. Now let's activate the mind and let's think about, just think. No hard process, no steps. Just think. I want you to think or observe. We could say observe. Observe your physical body. Observe everything that's going on. What's going on? What's it doing? Just check in. You can call it a check-in. I don't want you to analyze. I don't want you to find solutions. There's no need to assess anything. Oh, stop it. Like if you were down going, well, it wasn't like this yesterday, and this is really awful, and this was, stop it. Stop it. Tell your mind, love you for trying to, I don't know, label everything and put things in places, but not the time. Just get it to slow down. If you can't get it to slow down, use some frequency tones. I mean, I use Spotify actually, not that that means anything, but you can type in, I like 741 hertz. 741 hertz is the hertz I used for the last 21 days. And I had 17 people that I gathered for 21 days and put them in the 741 hertz frequency. Use a 528. 528 is my next 21 days of frequency. It's heart-centered. If you are interested in getting consecutive healing, then do check out. I began September 3rd, so it's coming up. September 3rd through September 23rd. I'll talk a little bit about consistency in a minute. So now you're laying down. If you can't get your mind under control, put some music on without words. That's why I like the frequencies or tones, 741 or 528. So you listen to that, get lost in it. Let your mind surf the music waves, let it get lost. You know how you do that. You dive into daydream, do it. Then observe the body. Just observe it, check in with it. Once you feel like you've done checking in, which might be 5 seconds, 30 seconds, you might find yourself 3 minutes really observing things. Then I want you to switch it from observing the physical body to imagining. So activate your imagination. So you're coming away from the logical, mental act of thought, and you're going into the creative, expressive imagination side. So from left brain to right brain. Just going to flip it over. So you go into right brain, and I want you to imagine how your body is when it is in perfect order, in its perfection. For some of you guys, you might say in its heyday. I don't know. You can't imagine. You can call back some memories. Maybe you were in your teens, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s when you felt your best, whatever. I mean, you can call back some of those memories, but I want you to really activate the imagination and see yourself in it. Linger there until it's time for you to fall asleep. I know it's kind of simple. You don't have to do placements. You don't have to say a mantra. You don't have to think of anything. You don't have to know what frequency, what color, image to bring in. You don't need to know what's wrong with your body to allow this balance to come in. Regina says, my dogs have been enjoying that healing music. And Judy, you often have your hands in this position when you do the healings on Learn It Live. It's the best. I mean, this is commonly how I fall asleep. Is there a cutoff registration for Reiki? No, there's not a cutoff registration. I would say I need you to sign up the day before, just because I like to meditate on everybody's name and who's in class. And then it makes me more prepared to meet your needs for class. You're talking about Reiki Level 1. And it's from 10 to 2. It's a 4-hour intensive. And then we break for 21 days and come back into Level 2. Level 1 is more about the physical body. And Level 2 teaches you more about the intuitive, psychic, mental, and emotional body. Level 3, which is often called the Mastership level, that's when you learn how to give attunements and teach what you know to others. Mary says you have to have both, like the positive and negative yes of the battery, red and the black grounding to the ground. Yes, the jumper cables. Imagine jumper cables. Right side red, left side black. And you're going into ground and kind of jumpstart your energy. Kat says I naturally rest my hands like that when I'm on my back. You're just like jumper cabling yourself. Reset, reset, reset. Okay, so reset, reset, reset reminds me to talk about consistency. So a lot of us who get into self-healing might have a one-off session with another healer or do something for self and just go, oh, that was really wonderful. And you can probably ride that high knowing how energy sensitive you typically are. 3 days easily. Some of you might catch a 5-day reprieve, maybe a week, and then it just kind of fizzles out, peters out. And when we get to that, it's kind of like, well, why is that happening, right? A lot of us have that belief system that what we do can be permanent. Some of us have a belief system of what we do is permanent. End of story. If I'm altering how my cellular system functions, it's going to stay that way and we're done. But then somehow it tends to shift after a day, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. Why? Why? Energy is so subtle. It's so sweet. It's so permeable. It's in relationship to everything. I mean, how much stuff do you have around you right now? Just pull back from whatever device you're on, look around. How many things are there? Pillows, couches, trees, plants, glasses, windows, framework. I mean, how old is the building you're in? What are you wearing? How many things are you wearing? How many crystals and jewelry and things are you touching? Like, what's going on? Because your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body is all in relationship to those things, to all of it. So it's getting a lot of feedback all the time. I'm not sharing this with you to say, shut down and put up walls and make sure you're protected. No. Nah, don't do that. But let's acknowledge that we are in relationship to everything. And now that we're in relationship with everything, sometimes this tends to change the healing you just did. Or you might accidentally go back into indoctrinated patterns you were unaware of. You didn't know you had them before. You got some healing. It was amazing. And then you went back to the patterning and it rewired the healing that you got. It was like, why won't this stay? Consistency makes it stay. Repeat, 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 repeat. Doesn't mean that you need to go back to the healer every day, but it does mean that you are going to be held responsible for holding that healing first and foremost. Come back to it. If you are able to get with someone who can do, and if you are looking for self-healing, who can help you stay in a consecutive streak, a daily streak, or if you can work with somebody who does offer like the 21 days, consistent check-in, consistent healing, give it a go. I want you to experience the difference of having a one-off session and its longevity versus a 21-day session or plus, and the longevity of that healing. Because it's not just working physically on the body. I fully believe, and I have seen it, that the energy healing done on the physical body happens instantly. The thing that unravels it is your mind. It slowly unravels it. Maybe I'm not worthy enough to heal overnight. Maybe I needed that injury so that I would have more of a chance to understand what it means to overcome an incident, to empower myself to know that I'm better than what has happened. So there's all kinds of needs being met and supported through having frequencies that don't resonate with you strongly. Just saying that. Do see if you can find someone, or with self, to do repetition. So if it's jumper cables, go for it. Mark it on your calendar. Let me do this for 21 nights in a row. What is this doing for me? Another thing that I like to do is work with training, like work with what I have and then train myself out of it. So we're always looking to grow, right? Growing to meet something, which in the act of even saying that is acknowledging that you're somewhere maybe you don't want to be. Oh, we can go down rabbit holes on choice of words. It's kind of nuts. So in this kind of healing approach, I would then be my human self, right? I naturally look for what doesn't work. What Sam I am. Jamie, I'm so immensely grateful that you create this space for us. Your warm, welcoming, beautifully spoken nature is so helpful. Yay! Thank you, Sam I am. I just want everybody to have information or just hang out with somebody else who's like swimming through it too. I know even my day-to-day, I don't end up being around a lot of people who operate their lives the way that I do, being an energy sensitive. So there's a lot we hold back or sacrifice just to play in this big playground, so it's nice to have this kind of community. I really appreciate it. It's Shannon Johnson, another wonderful healer over in North Carolina. Krista, hi. Krista, is it necessary to understand why something in the body isn't working the way that you want, emotional reasons, for example, in order to heal a particular aspect that's currently uncomfortable? Krista, this is the most beautiful question. And no, you don't have to. Isn't that nuts? So we've been trained so much that we need to know. When you know, it's better. A lot of us don't operate in mystery very well. And I believe we don't operate, this is just my opinion, I believe we don't operate in mystery very well because we've spent kindergarten through 12th grade, we've spent university, masters, PhDs, all building the intellectual mind. When you know something, you can be in control. When you have knowledge, you can make an intelligent decision. It's a part of a survival technique. But on the other hand, we haven't spent a lot of time developing our emotional body. Our emotional body more resides in that kind of world of mystery. It kind of washes up on you. Sometimes you're wondering why you're having a certain emotion. Sometimes it's very clear. But when we're developing the intellectual mind, we leave very little room for mystery. And we say we have to know so that we can get it done and we can close the chapter up, we can finish the book, we can get a grade on it, we can graduate from it and say it's complete. We don't need to have the intellectual knowledge to be able to heal. Just breathe on that one. We don't need to have the intellectual knowledge to be able to heal. Universal energy, that which we're all connected to, is intelligent, and it can come on and into us and balance us in the way that we are seeking. We don't have to have all the bits and pieces. But see, now that it's hard, Krista, because you have to unravel with, how do I put that to rest? That which happened to me. I didn't get an apology for someone, I didn't get that part of my life back that was so traumatized and wounded. Like, how can I move on from that? And that's going to be your own work in forgiveness and acceptance. But these are core elements in that spiritual awakening, And in your spiritual awakening, there's going to be so much that you can't apply your intellectual mind to. And you're going to be out there going, I don't know. But it's amazing and I feel safe and this is expansive and I've seen results, but I don't know. You don't have the intellect part to it. Amora says, Abraham says the same thing. No need to know what caused the dis-ease. I love that. I didn't know Abraham says that. That's great. Bia, hi Bia. Another wonderful healer. Clearwater Beach, guys. I do agree with the sets of days of healing sessions bring so impactful and powerful. Yes, reversing and stabilizing the energy of the person. Oh yes. Repetition, 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 repetition. We don't need to know, but we need to put ourselves in it. And that repetition helps counteract what your mind would commonly do. That was really amazing, but that was yesterday and today is a new day. And so I'm leaving that behind and it's just going to stay there and I'm going to move on. And I accidentally have allowed my mental energy to run away from what subtle light energy changes have occurred because we're often running into our day-to-day lives, our risk assessment, our survival modes, our work, our jobs, our identities, our labels, all of this. So how do you stay in relationship to it? If you're having a difficult time, sign up or be in an environment that does repetition healing. Okay, so I was talking about one more technique. And that technique I was saying, let's just play the human part. So our human part is identify what is wrong. So when you're like, oh, I need something. I'm not feeling like me. And maybe you know what it is. I have a headache. I have a chronic pain in my shoulder. I've been constipated for 3 days. Whatever it is, I identify it. What do you want to change? Just let yourself identify it. We're not going to play the do it right or do it wrong game. You just identify it. You might not know the whole story, but you're going to know as much as you know. So, and you locate it. Where is it in the body? Head, shoulder, this? Is it just kind of out here? Is it just kind of sticky and all over you? Like, where is it? Locate it. Isolate it. So you can isolate it with imagination, with prayer, with words. We're just going to imagine like putting it in the bag, putting it in white light, putting it in golden light. I don't know, whatever your jam is. Like, isolate it in a balloon, however you want to imagine it. Sealing it in silver. I don't know, whatever you want. Isolate it. Chris is like, bingo, chronic pain in shoulder. Identify it. Isolate it. Like you're just surrounding it with something. And then when you have it isolated, I want you to treat that isolation, that location, like like a baby kitten or a baby puppy that just needs a bottle. It needs some nurturing. It needs a little rubbing, just some kissing. It needs to get warm. It needs to be held. It wants to live. That pain, that disease, that whatever, it doesn't want to hold those frequencies. It wants to live in harmony. It wants to have homeostasis. It wants to come back naturally. And so you think of it as maybe a new budding plant. And you're just going to put water in it. You're going to nurture it. And you do that by loving it. Some of you might go, oh, no, you don't say that. But I want you to see, hear, feel, taste, like all of your senses. Activate all of those senses and feel the love generating from you and going into the point of isolation. And then you're going to keep doing it. And the point of isolation is not going to be able to hold all your love. It can't. So parts of your love is going to start poking through. The frequencies are growing. It's building up. It's like putting Mentos in Coke or Diet Coke, whatever it is. The bottle goes under pressure. The isolation is under pressure because of all the love you're packing into it. And then you're going to start to allow that frequency to escape. All the love, it's going to start to shine, turn into like a ball of sunshine, rays coming off of it, just all over, all throughout your whole body, all throughout your whole body. And then that is the key of getting that point of discomfort, pain, or what doesn't resonate with you, to be in relationship with your whole body. Because a lot of times we have been taught that when something's not working internally, that it's okay to ignore it and just move on. Let's just pretend it's not there, it'll go away. I'm going to pretend that I'm happy and healthy and everything is fine, and I will be, right? Because there's this fear of like, where you direct your energy is what will grow. So if you direct it towards you're getting a cold, then you're like, oh, I'm obviously going to get a cold. Play whatever mind games you have to with yourself. I just want that chronic whatever it is, or that imbalance, to have an opportunity to be in relationship with the rest of your body. And then all of a sudden, your body can't hold all of your love, all of your watering, your bottle feeding, your pets, your kisses, your, oh my gosh. I forgot that you needed some extra attention. You're struggling. I don't want that for you. I love you. Let me give you some of that. I have it to spare. I'll find it. And all of a sudden, it's too big for the body to hold, so it starts poking through the body, coming through the pores, coming out into your auric field, expanding. And now it's filling up your auric field. And it's simply a self-healing generated by your love. A lot of times, your psychic abilities, cognizance, voyance, sentience, whatever you are doing these days, these audience, commonly when you isolate and you begin to give it the nutrition, the love, the attention that maybe it's been asking for, you are going to get some downloads. You're going to get some, holy crap, this is what it's related to. This is where it's coming from. You'll get information. I urge you not to stay in the left side of the brain going, I need to get more answers. You're not there to get answers. What are you there for? You're there to nurture that part of you and the mind, the emotion, the body that's not in harmony the way that you would like it. That's what you're there to do. If the information rolls in, be open to it, receptive. Let it come on. But don't stop to seek for more of it, because it will stop your process of your self-healing. But then when you're all done and you get the light out into your auric field, there'll be a point where you're like, whew, I'm done. Like, I can't. This is too much. And you kind of blank out. Sometimes you might go to sleep because it just feels so good. And you're just bathing in it. And it's just so nice. Sometimes you'll just get up and you'll have a ton of energy. Well, now I got to go do something. I do want you to come back and observe whatever you were focusing on, what you initially isolated, and just check in with it. How did that go? And these are two, like the jumper cable and the isolation into love and nurturing. It's all it requires is your time, your focus, your mindset, harnessing the power of your mindset to get results, and your imagination. Activate the imagination. Imagination and intuition are roommates. They're together. So let's pull in the imagination and just imagine it happening. See, hear, feel, smell, taste, all of that. Allow it to come on board. And it does. It does. Minds actually change reality. It's been proven time and time again, not just on placebos. There was a wonderful study done. I used to have these links all available so I could post them up. I'm looking on fire. Wow, thank you, Suki. I used to have the links to put up, but there was a study done with, I can't remember how many people. It was something like 6 or 10. It was enough, and it was a accurate scientific study. They put these people in a full arm cast, so they couldn't move. It was a healthy arm. And so they couldn't move the arm. And for X amount of time every day, they had to imagine that they were lifting weights with that arm. And then the other half, who had the same arm in a cast, were told just to go about their time. You don't need to do anything. The ones with imagination actually gained muscle mass. Just by imagining lifting weights, gained muscle mass. The ones who didn't have to do anything and just had their arm in a cast for like 6 weeks lost muscle mass. How? How? Right? We have a power. Let's start using it. Include your mind. And if you want more insight and healing techniques, if you want to be, in that world, I would love to have you in Reiki class. We have Reiki 1, October 5th. We have Reiki Level 2, November 2nd. And if there's enough interest, I'll do a Mastership class in December 7th and 8th. And if you want to be around a consecutive healing, I'm going to start September 3rd. I only have 21 slots. I'm not interested in more than 21 people. I just kind of want to keep it to my 21. You fill out a form, and I focus on you. I surround you in a crystal grid layout. I douse you with hertz sounds because I have an essence of you. I have a form that you have filled out. I have your name written down, your location, everything, and I put it all in this little grid layout. And we're going to work on cellular rejuvenation. So this is all going to be on a cellular level. I do live healings in the 21 days, Monday through Friday. On the weekends, you're on your own. I do it remotely. We just don't have a video recording of it. And I love to send notes. If you've done the 21 days with me, maybe you can contest. But I like writing up who I saw, what happened, pinpointing people's lights and what changes are occurring. And in the live videos, we hang back and talk about what just happened, who was here, how did that go? So if you've joined the Learn It Live healings, it's very similar to that, but on steroids, because we do it every single day, 45 minutes in the morning or Eastern Standard Time morning. And then I check in remotely 15 minutes at night, which often ends up being 30 minutes. I figured you don't mind if I hang out a little bit longer to do more healing, but it happens. Judy is sharing, part of my self-healing is calming my initial reaction to third events, like parking tickets, unexpected letters. So this will help. Or maybe a few swear words here and there, and then some self-healing. Judy, organize it however you need it. I am all for the expression of words, but remember to be kind to yourself. Be kind. Oh, Maura, I would love to have you in it as well. Nana, lots of people around me having migraines. They're the ones who energetically give me the headaches as they seem so stressed. Right. Those boundaries are quite important. As a empathic and a clairsentient Nana Rosebud, that is you picking up on other people's frequencies. Dee sharing, the young adults around me at work wants to feel good right away with no effort required. I keep telling them it doesn't happen without effort, right? It requires your energy to feed into it to get the results. Nice coaching. Nicole Puckett is asking, how can you heal a chronic physical problem yourself? For example, I'm told I need a very invasive back surgery to align my spine, but I don't want to. I feel you on that one. I want to realign myself naturally. How can I? First and foremost is finding a team who has a background in that. I fully believe, and I have seen people come back from stage 4 cancers without chemotherapy. I have seen people's bones heal in several days. Like I have seen tumors and cancers just disappear. I believe it's possible. You have to find it in yourself. Is it possible? And then I would find a team of holistic and medical doctors. I find that it's so important to get both sides. It keeps you more balanced and sane. You know, who's keeping track of what and what you're doing. And focus on the healing. I would look into some of Joe Dispenza's work and some of his intensive workshops, as I think they're very good at rewiring the brain and getting you into trance level states like theta brainwave to help rewire the system, rewire the body. And then there's incredible hands-on healers out there who do body manipulations that can help with alignment. I just don't have any by rote memory right now to throw out. I would love if you would keep us posted, Nicole. All right. Oh, yeah. Song Loria is saying applied kinesiologist would help with that kind of healing. Yes. Oh, that's a good suggestion. This is the last one. So is it Christualisol too? I think I need better glasses. When we self-heal and begin to heal, is our progress pieces of our energy or soul being called back to us from low vibrational people such as narcissists that have abused us over the years? You can call your energy back. Yes. And yes, that will naturally happen when you are applying self-healing. That was a great way of explaining it. It was very thorough. Yay. Thank you so much for speaking to each other in the chat thread and providing that community and support. I really appreciate it. Hi, Carrie Birdsley. I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you so much for being here and holding space as we do our Fridays chats. It's like the fireside spiritual chat without a fire. And thank you so much for the insights and the questions. I will probably be absent a little bit because I'm headed out to Mount Shasta to run a retreat. It's going to be very interesting, and I'm very excited about it. I will be back on the 29th or so, and so I'll jump back into doing some lives. But if you are interested in anything that I've said, please just motivate yourself to follow through. If it's not with me, find somebody else that resonates with you. It doesn't have to be here, but I encourage you, when you spark and you go, oh, that topic, oh, that's interesting. I haven't tried that on for myself. Find somewhere to try it on. That's where you're going to get your growth. That's when you look back and you go, whoa, look at where I am now in my spiritual awareness and my growth compared to where I was. So you got this. You can do this. Remember, this is not woo-woo. It's true. Bye, guys. Take care. I'll see some of you Luminaires over on our Healers and Channelers support chat group. If you like that kind of a thing, you can check out here on YouTube our membership. We have 3 tiers, and the top tier has a Healers and Channelers support group. So I'll see you guys there. Bye, everybody.